guys, welcome to Storytime. I am Miss Lockett, the founder of Teacher Fashion On LOCKett, and tonight you guys are in for a special treat. I will be reading for you guys one of my favorite stories, and it is entitled Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Are you guys ready to jump on in? Well, let's go. Caps for Sale, told and illustrated by Esphyr Slobodkina. This is the front of the book. This is the back of the book. And this is the spine of the book. This is what holds the pages together. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler, carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on the top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the street, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he. And he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own check cap, then the gray cap, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a very long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own check cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in the back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray, or a brown, or a blue, or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking his finger at them. "You give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their finger back at him and said, This made the peddler angry, so he shook both of his hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both of their hands back at him and said, Now he felt quite angry. He stomped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stomped their foot back at him and said, By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stomped both of his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stomped both of their feet back at him and said, Wow, that peddler is upset. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap. He threw it on the ground and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own check cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." The end. Yay! Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed the story. I surely did. What was your favorite part? Yes, that was my favorite part too. When the peddler was so angry and he kept shaking his hand at the monkey, and finally he just gave up and threw his own checkered cap down, and then the monkeys also followed him. So they basically was mocking him the whole time, doing the same thing he was doing. Well, thank you guys for joining me for story time. I hope to see you next week. Bye.
Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Teacher Fashion On LOCKett.